Hello and welcome to another retro game review video. Today we are still on the Commodore Pet, albeit a slightly newer model, which is the 4032, which had 32K of RAM, still the same processor. It had a slightly better BASIC, which is BASIC 4, which was actually very good BASIC compared with BASIC 2, so it's even better than the BASIC found on the VIC-20 and the Commodore 64, which was BASIC 2. So BASIC 4 was a lot better. This also had a CRT controller chip for the screen as well, which allowed programmers to do things based on the VSync position. So you could render a lot smoother scrolling that way. Okay, so the game we've got today is Scramble, which is a arcade coin-op conversion for the Pet. It came out in 1981. It's loosely based on the arcade coin-op. There's about as much as you can get on the Commodore Pet anyway. So let's fire up. This is a disc image with quite a few games on it, so that's why I had to put his name in. Okay, so here we are. How far can you invade our Scramble system? This was released in 1981 by N. Kruger. I've got no information on him either. At least I've got his name, unlike Space Invaders. There's our points. Our little arrow is 25. If it's a flying arrow, it's double that for 50. If it's a pi, whatever, pi symbol, it's worth 200, and a base is 2,000. And we get a new life every 2,500 points. Okay, so controls are numeric keypad. It includes diagonals 7, 9, 1, and 3, but I'm far too mal-coordinated to even attempt that, so I'll be using the standard 4, 8, 6, and 2. And its A is fire. Right. So without any further ado, let's get a game going. So we hit fire. And then straight away it's another game with audio. In my dry run for this game, I really had to hammer the fire button because you've got more chance of hitting something. If you see, I've got a limited fuel supply there. I think I've got. I think I've got to shoot something on the ground. I think maybe those round ball things in order to top the fuel up. Although I haven't so far managed to do that yet. God, that was lucky. Oh, so is that. So I'm just banging the fire button, so anything, I've got a chance to hit anything. Oh, God. That was just too quick. I'm not even getting past the first wave here, am I? It's not looking too good. Right. Yeah, you can't get auto fire on a keyboard, can you? I've still got fuel. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, nearly got to the next wave as well. I've managed to get an extra life though. Right, so this is the next wave, so it's just bouncing diamonds by the looks of it. I do like the character they've decided to use for the shooting killing the enemies. The sort of, it's like a box with a cross in it. Oh. Okay, now these, I believe, you can't shoot them. You've just got to avoid them. These O's. And it's not as easy as it looks. Oh, that's about the best I think I've ever done on it. What could I do there? I was absolutely stuck there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can still shoot ground-based targets, I suppose, because I will run out of fuel. You see, these cannot be destroyed at all. Oh! Didn't quite move down in time, right? Okay, 5705. That is not a bad score for me. I was getting in the 3000s on my warm-up go. Right, okay, so let's have one more game, and then we'll start the review. I just wish I knew how to top the fuel up. Quite a few times I've run out of fuel and my ship's just crashed to the ground. No mercy. Right, okay, we've got past the first wave. Hammer the fire button down, and oh, I'm hitting this so fast. My hand is like shaking like a shitting dog. Oh, nearly got that caught by that one there. Okay, we're nearly through these. We've got to be. No, a load more. Oh, whoa. Oh, ran out of fuel. Went down like a sack of shit, didn't I? Right, I think we've got to try and do the ground targets when I'm avoiding these, just to make it even harder. So I can keep the fuel going. Don't I'll fall out the sky like a broken drone. Ah. Okay, we've done it. Oh! Oh my word! How can I do about that? There's not a lot of room here. This is all I can do. Just nothing I could do about that. Right, okay, well I've got an extra fighter because I've got over 5,000, so 7,500 for the next ship. And the fuel's staying nicely topped up as well. Ooh, I didn't even see the bomb there, the bullet there, but it got past. Oh Christ, it was too fast for me. Oh, didn't quite get to the next life. 7,000. That's probably my best score in this century for this game. Right. Okay, let's get the review started. So, first thing is graphics. The graphics, as you know, on a Pet are very, very limited. You cannot do sprites, you cannot do bitmaps, you can't even do user-defined character graphics. So all you have is Petski, and you've got 40 by 25 column to put them, and that is all you've got. There's no hardware scrolling, there's absolutely nothing that the Vic chip gives you. So all things considered, I think the graphics are fucking excellent for this. There's lots of variety on the rendering of the playing field, you know, the hills. I know they could be, you know, they're a bit blocky, but they are randomly generated. Okay, they're not just functional, actually work pretty nicely. The shape of the ship is made of five characters only. I think it looks pretty good considering. One thing that does put me off a little bit is the ship is flickering, and the reason I ran out of fuel. the reason it's doing that with every cycle of the loop, okay, it's drawing the ship and then it's removing all of it. So it's drawing it in its entirety every cycle, and it's removing it. So a lot of games on the Pet only did this when the ship moved from its position. But this is doing it all the time, whether you see I'm not moving at all and it's still flickering. I'm smashing straight into them. So I think they probably could have done a bit better on that. If you like, look at Space Invaders, how that moves very, very smoothly. There's no flickering, and yeah, I think they could have done that with this. Even the enemy characters are a bit flickery, although not as much. So, what I rate it graphics, I'm going to give it 4 joysticks out of 5. So I do like the graphics. They're a very, very sort of creative use of them. But it is let down a little bit by the flickering of the ship. See, there it's not flickering, you see. So they're only removing the ship shape when it's moving. Okay, so next category, which is always a tough one on the Pet, is audio. Say the Pet has no audio hardware built in at all. Audio for the Pet is created by sending certain frequencies down 2 pins of the parallel port and hoping that the Pet owner has got a speaker rigged up to it. We covered a lot of that in the Space Invaders review, but any Pet game or bit of software that has audio that's not just a series of beeps, to me will automatically get 5 joysticks, because it's not the easiest thing to do, audio on the Pet. And when I start my 6502 programming insights videos, we'll have a look at how it's achieved. So yeah, 5 joysticks out of 5 for audio on this game. So next we go on to gameplay. Well, to play the game, it's very, very responsive. Okay. Look how quickly I'm firing when I'm twitching my finger on the fire button. It's very quick. Very responsive. I like the randomness of the level generation. And I like the different waves of enemies. I need some fuel. So there's a hell of a lot. There's a hell of a lot going on here. It's packed into 32k, and probably might even be less, because some pets had 16, some had 8. So difficulty-wise, it can get a bit difficult, especially in this wave, the third wave. Sometimes it does put you in an impossible situation, but I'll say that's bad luck, really. However, that negative comment aside, it's a fucking good game. You know, I was only going to have 1 or 2 games for my sort of dry run before I started this video, and I was playing it for nearly an hour. It's really, really addictive. It's a pleasure to play. So the only thing that puts me off is the flickering of the ship. But as far as gameplay goes, I've really got to give it 5 joysticks out of 5. and the difficulty just keeps on getting more difficult with each wave you go on, or step as they call it. Okay, so overall, well, considering we've got some great audio, or great for the Pet, pretty good graphics, excellent gameplay, I'm going to give it 4 joysticks for the overall score. And the reason it didn't get 5 was the flickering of the ship, which could have been done a lot better, and the sometimes impossible situations you find yourself in where you've got no choice but to die. So that brings this review to an end. It's Scramble for the Commodore Pet. I'm giving that 4 joysticks overall. And I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you on the next video.